This work, the Maitreya work, which is what I call it, allows you to see through a glass. You can see through those crystals and what's on the other side. And what do you do with all the broken glass or crystal at the bottom of your cabinet? You say, I'll give it to you, God. This is yours. This has been part of my lesson. What a wonderful teaching I've had. What a wonderful teaching. And there are religions that believe if you don't follow their dogma, and many people learn this as childhood, and you might not get rid of it. If you believe if you don't do their dogma, horrible things will happen to you in this life and the other life. That's not true. But honestly, you might never get it because we're all living this childhood version of ourselves. We're adult children. But you can try.
You can always try. There's always something you can try.
Trying means just take the next step. Just take the next step. I'm absolutely not going through any fourth degree initiation in this life or fifth, or I'm not going through any of those. Do I know what my point of evolution is? Yeah, I know my race structure. And I'm not giving you any hints or information because it's nobody's business. And you don't really, at this point, need to know your own. Now, there are people who can help you with that, but I might be discerning about that if I were you. I think the most important thing to do is say, how do I live more fully in this physical world? What can I do? What do I love? What do I love? Because what you really love in your heart of hearts, that's your soul. And that's what you came here to do.
When we talked about wars and you described World War II as Armageddon, so does that mean we're living through the so-called reign of evil before light wins?
Well, yeah, and it comes and goes in a way. And I mentioned that because World War One and Two were really one war that went underground, came back up, and now those energies have gone into certain places in the world, three of them, and I refuse to mention those. But we go through these periods of Ray One destroying the old. Ray One is the ray of, you want to say Kali, it's destruction because you can't pour new wine into old bottles. And when you break those crystals, something new will come of that, but you have to live empty for a while. Now, Eastern beliefs, a lot of those say that we're at the end of the Kali Yuga cycle, which is war and destruction. We will see an end to this, but humanity will do it. Nobody's coming to save you from yourself. Maitreya's guidance and the master's guidance isn't to tell you what to do. It's to tell you what, if you do this, what are the options that will happen? You choose because this is a free will planet. You choose. So, yes, we're living with violence and destruction, and the optics are terrible because you can see it on television or on media. The optics are bad and it brings up emotion. But, as I often say, so what? We'll work through it. Just figure your piece in this and leave the rest alone.
That's fitting, because otherwise you're going to get caught up on stuff that doesn't affect you and get worried for nothing. Well, at least that's what I do.
Well, I do that too. It's just what I do. And so I have to learn to temper myself and to learn to add structure and boundaries to my life. What can I really do? Opening up Zoliart the way we did and doing the work to put out these, 8 or 10 books, the podcast, the hundreds of vocalizations, physical images, is for one reason only, to get the material out there. You choose. You choose. And I'm not always right. God knows. Just ask my husband. I'm not. And I jokingly say in 10 years, maybe less, I'll look back and go, I can't believe you said that. I call it the Waffy syndrome. What a friggin' idiot. What are you saying, Zoli? Well, this is where I am now. So be discerning. Ask your heart. You will be surprised when you develop your skill of feminine intuition, because that's what intuition is, part of the divine feminine, the light that will come into your eyes and into your life.
And developing that intuition, does everybody need to do the same thing? Is there any special trick to it?
Oh boy, so everybody, I know I get into that so much. I think it is in accordance with karma and divine will. I say that a lot. If somebody asks me to pray for them, I'll say in accordance with karma and divine will, add my energy field to their prayer. Because I'm not going to say it may not be right that it happens. It's a very individual thing. To open your intuition, you have to be quiet and you have to be receptive in some way. It can be a minute, 10 minutes, and a lifetime. It can be anything in there, but it has to fit into your lifestyle. It has to fit into the energy field of what you came here to do, what your personality is, your whole race structure. How do you think? How do you feel? How do you intuit? All of these are personal, and you will find other people who are similar to you, and you can get most information from them.
That's reassuring because a lot of people feel alone or that they're the weirdest person around.
Well, you may be. You may be. I jokingly say, which is true. I was so unpopular growing up until I was about maybe 14. Well, there's that 14. Kids hated me. Teachers hated me. I was a problem. They sent me to psychiatrists over and over. I've known every test there is in psychiatry was actually a gift. But I was weird. I was the weirdest thing on earth. Now, it was the 50s and 60s and Alabama. That's not the height of maturity there in that state at that time. But I went there to be with my blessed, wonderful parents and family and to burn karmic threads. And it was a blessed life. It was a blessed upbringing. But you have to find what pieces fit to your life. I'll give you an example. We're told to meditate. Now, Zoli cannot sit there, can't do it. I don't do the meditation thing. I will do a walking meditation. I'll sit for a few minutes and meditate. I will do a guided meditation from online, but I am not the kind of person, nor do I have the skills or the structure, physically, mentally, or emotionally, to sit cross legged. I have two hip replacements, first of all. It's not going to work. But to sit cross legged for what, hours on it? No way. Or to sit in a chair, it would drive me batshit crazy. That doesn't work for me. But I can take some of the benefits by modifying that to what is right. So if somebody tells you that's the only path, it's because they're terrified because they're doing it and they can't imagine there's another one that might work. There are numerous paths, countless, I don't know. But you will reach and teach what you came here to reach and teach once you begin to access your soul input. Or if you're not at that point, if you can just access your intuition and the guidance, those who surround you 24/7, say, help me, what's my next step?
That's really good example and helpful because I can picture all mums of toddlers if they're told, the only path is through meditation. Most mums of toddlers are going to say, I'm not even going to step on that path.
And it's not even right for everybody. You know, the Japanese are wonderful at meditation. Oh my gosh. There is a meditation in the Maitreya work called transmission meditation. And Benny Krim would go around the world leading these groups. And you say the great invocation and you sit and you hold the energy at your third eye, the ajna center. Now, who can do that? Americans, not many, but in the future, that will be what we do. By saying the great invocation in a group, you mediate, you bring down energies from the masters into this world. It allows them to shoot that radiation into the world where it's most needed. And that's pretty cool.
That was really neat. And it take a lot of focus, but to do it in the group, you can just picture the energy of everybody together.
Yes, and you can say the great invocation yourself. I used to say it daily, and I'll tell you what it is. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men, let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men, may Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose that the masters know and serve. From the center that we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. That brings in, once you hold that energy in your ajna center, which keeps it out of your emotions, that brings in your burning karma. You're burning your own. And as Christ said, when two of you are together in my name, I'm there. And that's a great metaphysical truth. When there's two of you, it's like there are four. When there are four, they're what, 16? My math is terrible. But think of the power of that with 100 people.
That amplifies awfully
It
quickly.
does. So we'll get better at that, but I don't think we can accomplish much of a damn thing until the day of declaration. After that, the world will walk on tiptoes for a while. For what, a couple days, a week? There will be calm. And then it'll start up again.
Hmm.
But who's there to help? Right there. Maitreya will be connecting with world leaders. And supposedly it is said that the day of declaration will happen after the world leaders say, God help me, I don't know what to do. This is out of my control. And it's coming. And the reason it hasn't come yet is because Maitreya and the masters are also dealing with karmic, what you call evil. And what evil is wants the materialism to be God, wants the material world to be God. So it'll destroy everything that doesn't need to be there, but it'll also destroy everything that does need to be there. It's a total void.
You can feel that energy. And I don't
Yeah.
want to knock any particular world leaders, but I don't see a lot of hope in any of them asking for help.
Well, most of the world leaders are first degree initiates, actually, and maybe probationers just getting ready to go through it. And that first degree initiates can be hugely obnoxious because they have all this access to so called power and they think it's them, but they want to serve. They want to serve. So there's a lot. I won't get into that, but those people will be dying out. And what will come is representation of we the people, by the people, for the people, all over the world.
Oh, yes, please.
And after the day of declaration, what will happen is pretty amazing. Now, this should give you hope because this is a great truth. Already set in place are plans to end hunger, to end poverty, And I'll tell you what the plan is. The United Nations, which is now a shadow of what it was and what it can be, it's very corrupt, even though there's hope in it. There are plans through the United Nations that the first thing Maitreya's priorities are to distribute food. There will be countries, each country will have an excess of something and a need for something else. We have too much cotton, we need corn. So the countries with the corn trade for the cotton. There will be an extensive form of sophisticated bartering all over the world. Count on it. It's coming. Potable water, the same thing will happen with water being distributed. What you are doing is removing the almighty dollar from needs: food, clothing, shelter, water. So the priorities of Maitreya and hierarchy, the first thing is food and water. And included after that is clothing, housing. After that, it's medical needs, then education, and the arts are last. But that doesn't mean that these things aren't going to be happening anyway. It's not the main priority. You will see a communication through the internet also of things popping up. You will see television change. You will be able, in a matter of time, because the masters will control the airways because we have requested it. If you want to see what happened during Rome circa 200 BC, you just tune the television to that and you will physically see it.
Oh,
You will see the dinosaurs. You'll see this. You'll see that. That is our future, Linda. That's our
that's
future.
that is so beautiful and such a hope-filled, wonderful place.
Right. So education will open up gradually to where it will be individualized to kids in groups who have commonalities. And it will be eventually because of your race structure. There is a Soul 7 kid, and these kids they want architecture, they want form, they want this and that. There will be a bunch of Ray 4 kids who are the artists. And that's said very lightly. Um, the technology, anyway, you will be able to do in the future, it's not next year, what you came here to do with support. And you will also be connected to the ashram, one of 7 ashrams on this planet. And there will be a master, the head of each one. You'll be connected to that. So you'll get spiritual, emotional, mental, physical. So what will happen is we will be aligning, like tuning. Think of a dial. We'll be tuning our physical body, our emotional body, our astral body, our mind, and our spiritual body. We will be tuning that to the ashram that is our soul's ashram. And things will change. So, why will there be peace on the planet? Because the almighty dollar will not be needed in that way. I don't know how that's going to happen, what's going to happen. I don't know. I don't know. But you talk about this is what's mean by equality. It's a process. It's a process and it seems impossible right now because right now it is.
It does seem impossible, and it feels like the pathway to that. Like a lot of systems have to be broken down, and of course that is tumultuous. But to see the light, there is a light that will lead us there, is very hopeful indeed.
Yes, and systems also have their crystal cabinet full of dogmas and things they have to have. But the power mongers of the world, they're going to lose all that because they're not going to be controlling things with their money and their power. That's the change.